Hey, welcome back. Glad that you're here. So go grab your sketchbooks and I want you to grab a ballpoint pen this time. Typically draw with pencils on this channel, and I do sprinkle in some ballpoint pen every now and then. But we're going to concentrate on that today, and while we do that, I'll go over some techniques that I use for small creature thumbnail sketching. And we've covered quite a bit about creature thumbnails and how to handle just overall quick design, especially those of you that have never drawn before. I don't think that there's ever a limit to experimenting with a pen, and also just getting your sketchbooks out and doodling, not knowing what you're going to produce. I think that's one of the most fun things about it. You know, it doesn't matter what medium you use. It doesn't matter what medium you use, just as long as you can get some pretty decent sketch lines out of it. You could use charcoal, you can use mechanical pencil, you can use, any of the H's, any of the B's. I will say though, if you're not too familiar with all of the different types of pencils, try to keep the number of pencils that you use to a bare minimum, only because as you progress in your artistry, it's better to learn how to do a lot of the different sketching techniques with one pencil versus having to rely on an entire set just to accomplish a single drawing. Now, since we're focusing on a pen today, it's a little different. However, there is something to be said about what type of pen you use. Now, for me personally, I like Bic ultra round stick grips. Now, this isn't a stick grip. This is just a regular round stick that you can get at CVS. You can get it Walgreens, or you can just order it off Amazon too. But these are good because they rarely bleed. And just a little tip, if you do happen to have pens that bleed on you quite a bit, it could be one of several things. One being the pen sucks and it's old, so throw it out. Two, you're leaving the cap off too long. If you leave the cap off, the ink dries in there. And then what happens is 2, 3, 4 days later, even a month later, you go use the pen again. So the liquid ink is sitting behind the dry ink. And then when it wants to come out, guess what happens? It's like the dry ink is like a cork, and it just pops off the end of the brass here, and all of a sudden all the liquid pours out right after the dry one. That's why you get the blotches. So put your caps back on your pens just make it a habit as soon as you do that, and then it'll help. The other thing that I wanted to mention today is, with using new mediums and stuff, learning new techniques for art goes a long way in building up your arsenal, because there's a lot of different types of artists out there. I mean, we have painters and knitters and charcoal sketchers, figure drawers, whatever. But if you want to learn, if you're stumbling across my channel for the very first time and you have no idea what you're doing here, people have found my channel and just decided to draw that haven't drawn in years. I hope that my channel has that effect on you. That's very nice and humbling. But if you want to learn how to do other types of art, I want to talk about today's sponsor, Craftsy. You're probably wondering what Craftsy actually is. Well, imagine this. It's an online community and a resource where millions of crafters, makers, do-it-yourself enthusiasts, they all come together to advance their skills in some way, shape, or form. There's over 2,000 exciting classes and over 20 popular categories. Some of these categories are cooking, drawing, painting. You have photography, journaling, writing, fitness. Pretty much anything that you would like to get better at, Craftsy has it. One of the many cool things about Craftsy is they're always creating new classes to keep people coming back for more, to help them in any way that they can. You can connect with fellow makers and do-it-yourself lovers to ask questions, share ideas, and stay inspired. There's nothing like having a camaraderie with like-minded individuals trying to learn what you're also trying to get better at. You can experience the satisfaction and joy of creating something truly one of a kind, and with your own two hands. You'll have access to Craftsy's live streaming tutorials, which are really cool, where our expert instructors share their tips, they answer your questions, and they also help engage with the community in real time. This is where the live classroom feeling really comes into play with Craftsy. And this is essential in feeling like you are a part of a community, trying to learn new things, trying to get better all together. Another thing that I want to point out about Craftsy classes is how they're structured. The classes fit any interest and skill level, so you don't have to be intimidated about joining a specific course if you feel like you're not good enough to start out. Members get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes, exciting projects, and mouth-watering recipes. Yes, if you want to learn how to cook, Crafty's got it too. With world-class instructors, they'll inspire and encourage you through every step of the creative journey. I know I'm looking forward to several classes that Craftsy has to offer, such as sketching your point of view and portrait drawing. The first 1,000 of you to click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen will get 1 full year of Craftsy's premium membership for $1.49, but that is valid for new members only. And last but not least, I want to take the time to thank Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to drawing. Now, usually we don't spend too much time on our little thumbnails here, but just for the sake of making these pen sketches look a little prettier than normal, or at least trying to, I'm going to be putting some detail in here. This little beast. It's almost like a little bulldog and just a little mischievous alien all rolled into one, and there's no eyes. But what I'm going to do is just put in some pockets of really dark areas just to try to help the contrast. This is what I love about ballpoint pen. It allows you to get really dark really fast, and then all of a sudden you can lighten up and move on to the next sketch. It just helps the sketches feel grounded. Let's move on to our next one. If you're drawing along with me, I like to have orderly sketchbooks. But look, if your sketchbook is messy and you don't really care if, images are overlapping or anything, that's totally fine. It's fine. I just like to keep things nice and neat just because it keeps my mind frame clean whenever I'm sketching or doodling. If I want to be neat in my sketches, I tend to look around my desk afterwards and I'm going, maybe I need to clean this sucker off. By the way, speaking of desks and cleanliness, make sure that your workspace is clean. It's really important to have a clean workspace. It doesn't matter if you're working remotely, if you have a full-time job at home, or if you're coming home from a long day's work, or you're working on the weekends in your little office. Clean that off. What that does is it allows you to work in a clutter-free environment, which has been proven to help productivity. But two, you just feel better about your workspace in general. You want to go there. On a little side note, if you do work at home, and it's possible, it's good to separate your workspace from your bedroom or your kitchen, especially your kitchen. Now, it's not always the case with everybody. Sometimes you can't. If you have a studio apartment or a really small place, which is totally fine, you can't do that. But try to compartmentalize it, by office dividers, something along those lines. It's a pretty nasty little critter here. It's almost like a horse, I guess. I'll put some ears here. Not really sure where this little critter's going. Should I call it a little one though? Because this critter could very well be 6, 7, 8 feet tall. Maybe I should put a little person there, but I think just for the sake of keeping the wonder, I think I'll leave it out. Maybe it's stomping through mud. That's why you can only see the paw up here. But if that's the case, I'm going to turn my pen to the side, and it's going to let out far less ink than if I were to turn it upright like this. So if you turn it to the side, where just a little bit of the brass hits the the brass tip that is, hits the paper, it does allow you to control the shading much, much better and easier. Okay, there we go. Notice how I'm not getting into too much detail on these areas, but I am indicating with these darker lines right here just enough to tell you, like, okay, well, there's the latissimus muscle right there, and you got your quadriceps. I might have screwed up on that anatomy a little bit. Maybe that back heel is a little too high, so I'm going to try to lower that right there. Because any kind of quadruped, I mean, they don't have much bicep and they definitely don't have much calf, if at all. And their calves are far different looking than a normal human's. There we go. Now notice how I'm doing some directional hatching right here. I'm not cross hatching, there's nothing crossing. It's just one direction. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what if we put like a double set of eyes here? I think that'd be kind of cool. But the skull, the underlying skull, is much like a horse. So I need to be really careful about any of this craziness that I'm adding. It's not a very friendly looking horse, huh? It is kind of human-like right there. Ooh, man. Well, that was an unplanned semi-anthropomorphic horse. I don't even know what I'm drawing anymore. That's the fun part. By the way, if you're drawing along with me still, and you're finding yourself doodling and not knowing where it's going, embrace that and keep going. Let's see what happens. This is why it's so fun. You know, I'm having a lot of fun here just with this mane. What if we just spike it? Small controlled bursts with the line, thick to thin. There we go, right like that. But you have to be careful when you do this with a pen because it gets very, very thick very quickly. It's you can apply light to dark just as easily as a pencil. The only problem is once you start getting darker with a pen, it gets significantly darker. Whereas a pencil, you can keep building it up much, much easier. There we go. I'm going to twist some of that hair. Here's a cool little trick I like doing. You could do this with a pen or pencil. If you ever have a mane, a mohawk, a tuft of hair, fur, whatever, and you can see the roots of the fur or hair coming out of the skin, at the base, it's good to shade lightly in multiple directions until you fade the base in to whatever skin surface is right there. You don't want to abruptly end the dark roots of the fur or hair. You have to remember that each individual strand is also casting a shadow. It's no different than walking in through a very thick forest with tall trees. Sunlight and light in general is just penetrating, but there's going to be little places where it looks like it's faded off due to cast shadows, being spread out. So once you start fading the ends of the fur, and then what you do is you shade back up into the fur from the skin, it creates a very unique and unified texture. Now it is different with a pen than it is with a pencil. It's hard to explain really. I can only explain so much, but you just have to do this yourself. And then you'll realize the power of this. It's a lot of fun. Like right here on the front elbow. With a pen, each individual strand of hair and then flowing together offers a really nice subtle and soft touch. And then I'm going to go back in and try my best to fade where the fur touches the skin. And then I'll release it. And we definitely have to put it in the back here by the heel. I still don't know what the feet are going to look like. But we'll see. The other thing I'm doing with the pen, because the pen lines are so much more defined now, is that I go back into these open areas, like these areas where there's not a lot of detail. And if I quickly scribble in different directions and lightly overlapping each other, that creates a neat little skin texture. And then the cool thing is, the next stage, is that once you start overlapping these little areas, then you take your pen and keeping the strokes close together, you want to shade across everything very lightly. As a matter of fact, that technique that I'm using right now, I would practice away from your doodles. Just practice the movement to get used to the, not hand-eye coordination, but muscle memory. Just very lightly. And you probably won't even be able to see that much on the camera. I would have to darken it a little bit. This does take some hand control. You would have to practice this, mainly because if you do push too hard while doing this technique, you might get too much ink, to put it lightly. All right, there we go. Now, the other thing that I can do is playing with line weight. I can darken the underside of this horse creature to make it seem like the cast shadow is on the underbelly. Okay, and then I'll make this connected to the ground right here. Okay, and then I already did do it a little bit over here, but I think what I want to do next is take the little black areas, and I'm just going to gently fade up some closer together hatching. And for lack of a better saying, I'm just going to walk it up. There we go. Black toenails and black fingernails so that it stands out among the other details. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're using a pen or a pencil. It's all a matter of playing off of the values one at a time. There we go. So I hope that you liked today's lesson. These are a little bit more in-depth thumbnails, but you can clearly see that if you just spend a good 5 to 10 minutes on your pages or on your sketches, that you'll be able to layer up all of these designs. Okay. Now, if you had a good time, comment below. I'd love to hear about it. Check the links in the description below for our Discord and my course that I teach, as well as my mentorship. And the last thing that I want to mention today before we jump off is I want to thank Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. So the QR code, you definitely have to hit that up. That's a very special offer. And remember, the first 1,000 people to use my link will get 1 full year of Craftsy for only $1.49, but it's only valid for new members. So check that QR symbol and comment below if you're having a blast drawing, because I would love to hear you guys' opinions about what's going on in your world, schooling, if you're having a hard time, if you're having a blast, trying to get a job, all of that jazz. All right, until next time, peace.